Well, I listened to her over the Conservative leadership contest over the past few weeks, and I was shocked that there was no plan from her. There was no plan for the NHS, there's no plan for skyrocketing energy bills and food bills. And I was really worried. There are millions of pensioners and families who've been really worried about the NHS waiting list, about how they're going to pay their energy bills. And there's been no plan emerge. It's either she doesn't seem to get it or she doesn't care, and that's just not acceptable.
Or she was waiting to win and get the job and move in, look through the books and then finalise things, because we understand she's going to release a plan, and it looks like a very big plan on Thursday with a freeze on energy bills, the kind of thing that you were talking about.
Well, you're right. The Liberal Democrats were the first party to call for a price freeze so that the cap stays where it is and people's energy bills don't go up this autumn. And the Liberal Democrats are proud of that, and we said we should pay for it with a windfall tax on the oil and gas companies. But what we're hearing from Downing Street, what you were referring to, isn't a freeze, it's a loan. What they're saying is that families and pensioners should be paying this back for years to come. That's just not right. We should be asking the oil and gas companies, who are making tens of billions of pounds in profit they never expected to make because Putin invaded Ukraine, we should be asking them to pay some of that back so that we can afford to freeze people's bills without actually having the loan system that it's rumoured that Liz Truss wants.
Is that what you are expecting her to introduce, that when she makes this announcement on Thursday, that it is this freeze in energy bills, maybe till the end of this Parliament for the next couple of years, which is then spread over the future, that people kind of pay back over the next 10, 15 years? Is that what your understanding is?
Well, we just don't know. I mean, this is my whole point. She's had weeks to tell us during the leadership election for the Tory party, and she didn't spell it out. In fact, she said she wasn't going to do anything. And that is just unacceptable. There are not just millions of families who are worried about how they're going to pay those bills. There are businesses who want to invest, but the uncertainty and the fear of higher energy bills has meant those businesses are in trouble. So the Conservatives and Liz Truss have left people in this limbo, in this uncertainty, and it looks like if this plan of a loan it transpires, that they've not even developed an acceptable plan for the future. So Liberal Democrats are really worried. We put forward our alternative, our constructive alternative, which would be a genuine freeze on people's bills, paid for by one-off tax on the oil and gas companies who are making these super profits. That seems a fair approach. It can work. I just wish the Conservatives would listen to this type of approach, which I think would help those millions of families and pensioners who are so worried.
We've spoken before about what some people see as the pitfalls of a windfall tax. I don't want to get into that this morning, but I suppose there is a question for you, that if there is a new Prime Minister, a change of regime with a big policy that people think is going to help them, there is a risk for you as opposition parties here, isn't it, about knowing how to respond? How do you deal with a new Prime Minister? Are you a bit rattled, a bit worried about Liz Truss?
Not at all. To be honest, it's the Conservative Party that is the problem here. When we beat the Conservative Party in 3 by-elections in the last year, in True Blue Buckinghamshire, in North Shropshire, where we took a seat the Tories had held for 200 years, or in East Devon early this summer, overturning the largest majority ever overturned, we talked to lifelong Conservative voters. And it wasn't about actually Boris Johnson, it was about the Conservative Party. They feel the Conservative Party has taken them for granted, doesn't have an answer to the problems in the NHS, to the problems with higher inflation, and they were rejecting the Conservative Party.